It's August 15, 2015. My legs are shaking. I feel the butterflies in my stomach, and my palms are getting sweatier with every step I take. I turn on the lights of the conference room, sit down with my manager, and say, Brett, I am very thankful for my 2 years working here at General Motors, but I am submitting my 2 weeks notice, and I'm going to be pursuing a career in real estate. That was 3 years ago. Today, I run a real estate team that sells around $20 million a year, and I own 12 rental properties, which fully cover my monthly living expenses. Technically, I am financially free at the age of 28. And some of you might say I have accomplished the American dream. But I have a confession to make. I am not American. I am one of the 11.7 million undocumented immigrants living in this country. I am one of the 800,000 dreamers protected under the DACA program. 19 years ago, my parents made the sacrifice to leave their home country of Peru to go in the search of the American dream. We came to the United States legally when I was 9 years old, but we became undocumented immigrants when we overstayed our visas. Now, I am what Congress calls a dreamer, a person who was brought here and is currently undocumented. I had no idea growing up undocumented would come with challenges, fears, and disappointments. When I was 16 years old, I went all excited to the DMV to get my driver's license. I gave them all the documents I thought were required, but they told me that without showing that I was legal, I couldn't get one. It was then that I knew my life would be different than my friends. I graduated third in my high school class and got into Florida State University. However, because of my undocumented status, I found out I couldn't qualify for any student loans or financial aid. I won thousands of dollars in scholarships, but most were taken back because I was undocumented. I had enough money to pay for college for 1 year, but I had to figure out a way to pay the remaining years. After volunteering at a nonprofit in the IT department, they decided to hire me. And as I was going through the application process, I get a call and they tell me that due to my immigration status, I couldn't work. At the age of 19, I had the grim realization that not only can I not drive or get student loans, but now I can't get a job anywhere. But I didn't let that stop me. I remember what my father told me, that the US is a land of opportunity, but it is up to us to find it. So after doing a lot of research, I found out that undocumented immigrants can create their own LLCs. Isn't that interesting? Uncle Sam wouldn't let me pay taxes as an employee, but would happily let me pay taxes as a business owner. So I created my own LLC and began working as an IT contractor. One hot summer day, I had set up an appointment with a small business owner in Tallahassee. The appointment was about 4 miles away from my apartment, and at that time, my bike was my only mode of transportation. So I put a suit and a towel in my backpack, and I ride my bike to the appointment. By the time I got to the building, I was drenched in sweat. I parked my bike in the back of the building, dry off with my towel, change into my suit, and walk to the front of the building to meet my client. After a successful meeting, I quickly walk to the back of the building, hoping nobody sees me, change back into my sweaty gym clothes, and ride my bike back home. This is what life is like when you are undocumented. You have to go above and beyond to achieve your goals. Instead of seeing obstacles, I saw opportunities, and I decided that making excuses wasn't an option. And then, in the summer, in June 2012, the year that I was graduating, I hear a speech from President Obama in which he announces the DACA program, or Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. That program will grant dreamers like me, who came under the age of 16, that graduated high school and have a clean criminal record, the opportunity to get a driver's license and a work permit. It also shielded us from deportation. I couldn't believe it. I was 22 years old at that time, and I was finally going to be able to do what all my friends were doing: driving and working. That new executive order was a game changer as I began applying for jobs. One of the companies I applied for was General Motors, and they hired me right on the spot because of my experience and a recommendation of the dean. I told them that according to my attorney, I will be getting my paperwork in about 3 months, right as I was graduating. After the interview ended, I picked up the phone to call my parents to let them know that I will be moving to Austin, Texas, and will be working as a software developer. Let me tell you, that was one of the best calls I have ever made. I made my parents proud, and I was finally going to be able to make progress on my American dream. And on December 14th, 2012, I graduated from Florida State University in the top 1% of my graduating class with 2 bachelor's degrees in less than 4 years and with 0 student debt. I became the first person in my family to graduate college. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But then I faced another obstacle. December was ending, and I am still waiting for my paperwork. I'm supposed to move to Austin in a couple of weeks, and I have nothing. I'm confused, frustrated, anxious. I remember thinking, how am I going to move to Austin where I don't know anybody, I can't drive, and don't even have a guaranteed job yet? But I took a leap of faith, and I moved to Austin anyway. I figured if I have overcome all of these obstacles, it was just going to be a matter of time until I find a solution. Because I have the mindset that if the door of opportunity is closed, I go through the window. In late January, upper-level management at General Motors decided to hire my company so that I could work as a contractor while waiting for my paperwork. I am forever grateful for that opportunity. Now, the funny thing is that even though I was working for a car company, I still had to ride my bike to and from work. A few months after, however, I did get my paperwork from immigration and became a full-time employee. I even got the privilege to sit and wait happily at the DMV just to get my driver's license. When I was 25 years old, I left that job at General Motors. I changed careers in 2015 to open up my own real estate team with my business partner. Now, we help families achieve their dream of home ownership. We hire painters, plumbers, electricians. We have a full-time office manager. I am creating jobs for many Americans, and I believe that DACA recipients are an asset to this country. On September 5th, 2017, President Trump rescinded the DACA program, and I felt devastated. But I was even more frustrated at what the then Attorney General said. He said that DACA denied jobs for hundreds of thousands of Americans by allowing those same jobs to go to illegal aliens. This couldn't be more wrong. In that moment, I did something I've never done before and shared publicly on Facebook that I have DACA and that I am a dreamer. I shared my story and shared a picture of the taxes that I paid in 2016 of over $28,000. I mentioned that I didn't steal anybody's jobs. I earned them through hard work. Those nonprofits, small businesses, and even General Motors hired me because of the potential that they saw in me. I wrote that post to raise awareness of the opportunity that DACA gave me, just like it did the 800,000 DACA recipients we have today. That post went viral. Now, when something goes viral, you get people that support you, but you also get the haters. I got a lot of people saying that my story inspired them, but I even got a lot of comments saying that I should be deported back to Peru, that I was still illegal and unwanted after all my accomplishments, and that if I was so smart, why didn't I get in line for citizenship? But instead of getting mad or irritated, I did my best to educate those people, to let them know that there is no way for us to get in line because the line doesn't exist. I also mentioned that we are not freeloaders, as many of them think. We pay taxes just like all Americans do. We contribute to our communities and to the economy. I am just one DACA story, and each of us has a unique story. I share it with you today because my dreams are bigger than my lack of papers. There are 800,000 DACA recipients who are on the pursuit of the American dream, who believe that we are Americans at heart. We have gone to school here and contributed to our communities. But we live with uncertainty because we don't know if we will be able to renew our documents in the future. If the program ends, will ICE deport us? Will we be fired from our jobs? Will we have to go back to live in the shadows? We will be living with fear every day, hoping that the police don't stop us while we're driving, or that ICE doesn't come knocking on our doors. A fear that will limit our true potential. We are pursuing something knowing that it can be taken away tomorrow. The American dream. But the question is, can the American dream be achieved if we're not American? In that Facebook post I wrote, one of my friends commented, "Diego, you are more American than I am." And that made me think, because in his mind, I was contributing to this country, just like other Americans. And I have the values of what it means to be an American, but I lack the papers to prove it. The American dream for me is to see past your current circumstances in the hopes of a better future, and to pursue your vision despite the obstacles you may face. The American dream is a story of perseverance. It's a story of resilience. It's a story of coming to the United States or being born in the United States with nothing to achieving a life worth living. This country is one of the greatest countries in the world because so many people come on the pursuit of the American dream. A dream that comes with sacrifices. Sacrifices that my parents had to go through so that they could provide for my brother and I. Planting in us the values of integrity, grit, and work ethic. They are the original dreamers, and I am a result of their sacrifice. At the end of the day, we are not criminals. We are human. We've been living here striving to reach the American dream, just like you have. Did you know that of the 11.7 million undocumented immigrants, 65% of us have been living here for over 10 years? And that 40% of us actually came here legally. This is something that the media won't tell you. We are your teachers, nurses, realtors. We are your neighbors. If you are an American, I urge you to look back at your family lineage and find out who paid the price, who left their country, their culture, to go on the pursuit of that American dream. And ask yourself if it was worth it. My name is Diego, and I am an American without papers.